Hello everybody, it's sketchbook tour number 4. I'm very excited to share this one. I really went all out and you can really tell by the thickness of this baby. Look how thick, and the buckle stands no chance. Also a very pretty sketchbook. As always, I like to buy pretty sketchbooks, but in this case, it was actually a gift from my parents in 2020. After I got back from holidays, it was waiting for me on my pillow. Now, I did carry this sketchbook around with me for quite a long time. So you can see here that there's a little bit of damage here and there. And it's just because I wore and tore it. Without further ado, let's get into it. I like to sort of stylize the first few pages just for aesthetics, but nothing too crazy because it's scary enough having to do the first page and I couldn't go all out with that. So I just slapped some stickers on. Now, for some context, I was doing a creative arts degree at university when I started this. So some of these drawings were actually exercises for uni, but I really love surreal stuff. And that's something I dabbled in at the beginning of 2020. Like these particular drawings here were done for the university course. And I just remember this being something to do with the deli and slicing meat. So I sliced a pig up because that was my job at the time. And I do not remember why on earth I would draw that for uni, but I'm sure I had a reason. Here I was exploring the dark concepts behind viewing paintings that are empty, it seems, except for one of them having the word chaos. Very interesting. And stuff like this. I love a flippy. So on this page, I started doing one of my favorite things, which is flippy stuff. Like why keep it simple when you can have things flip? Here's more of those buildings. They were so much fun to draw. I remember clearly. I really thought I was onto something. Heavy Game of Thrones reference. I think that was going around at the time. All right, so I love this page because you guys can take the time to read some of these things, and I'm pretty sure these are lyrics. I like to write a lot of lyrics in my sketchbooks, but with this one, I had this idea. I'm like, wouldn't it be amazing if we could connect our dreams with other people, sort of like how you FaceTime people in real life, but you dreamtime people, and you get to experience the realm of dreams together in a connected space. Dabbled in some portraiture, just experimenting with Copic colors and trying to create skin tones. These were just graphite and Copic markers and a bit of red, because you're going to see throughout this book that I do love red. At this point, I was still at university. Oh, hey, that one is my tattoo. That's when I sketched it out to go get it done. I love this particular piece of art. It's not my own. I did redraw it from a very, very good and talented artist. At this point, I was reading a lot on existentialism. So I have quoted something down. Existentialism, like rationalism or empiricism, is a label that may mislead the unwary, and so on. As you can see here, the need for exploring the color red became very, very vivid. Right, I love these pieces. So these aren't my originals. These are from other paintings that were created a very long time ago. As the thing more perfect is, the more it feels of pleasure and pain. Dante. I was also reading Inferno at the time. And these are just some more eye practices. I think I remember pulling these paintings from Pinterest. And here's some more of my stuff. You can really see the existentialism research I was doing right here. And I am Greek, so you're going to see a lot of Greek writing throughout this book too. I never know what to do with pages after I've drawn with something like a marker, but it looks like I did try to do something here. What? I don't know, but I'm sure it's something nice. It looks like flowers, but I can't really tell. I do have to say that I remember during this time, my mental health was derailing a little bit with university, and I knew that I wasn't able to pull through with it. I was not happy at all with the courses that I was doing. And I was also doing law at the time. So I was doing a double degree of creative arts and of law. Law being the bigger degree that I was doing. And I just remember derailing into a place of madness. So this sketchbook was a very safe place for me to come and just be myself. But I remember even doing something like this became really hard because I didn't have time to practice. We got another flippy thing. I dabbled in some paints here. They're quite cheap paints, so they didn't stay on the page the way they should have, but I still like the look that they have. Oh God, would you look at that? It's another flip. These are done with Prismacolor pencils, and I love the way that the red looks instead of using black as shading. I was very inspired by sculptures around this time, and that is what I did with my charcoal work as well. Here's a little character that I made up. She's very cool, and I wished that I was able to look like her, which is impossible because my legs are half of that size. And here's more of her. That's her eye close up. And here's some nude live drawing compositions. If you guys have seen my previous sketchbooks, there was not as much color as in this one. I just really enjoyed experimenting. More lyrics you watched me with as I watched you bloom. Really like that. Here we can see that I'm delving into a bit of a darker art style, which I still very much love to this day. And I was a kickboxer, so we got a bit of martial arts going on in here too. Some watercolors. This is ballpoint with watercolor. I remember I bought a new watercolor palette and just loved how vivid these colors were. And the mushroom person, oh, I still like him to this day. This one is not my original either. This one was off Pinterest, but my God, was it a fun time to sketch it up. And this one is just with a ballpoint pen again. It was a lot of fun to delve into skin tones and incorporate it with the ballpoint. I've always loved the idea of creating characters, but never did quite well with executing the repetition of them. You know, to look cohesive between the pages, they just always sort of looked a bit different. So I just ended up drawing all these random people. So there's a lot of different characters in here. These pages were a bit bare. I do remember sort of falling out of making a lot of art at the time. This was in 2021. So at some point in here, a year passed, and yeah, you can see I did fall out of practice. I didn't try as hard to make these sketchbooks look good, but sketchbooks are about learning and the process. So you don't have to make every page look fantastic. You just got to get something down. I forget the name of the artist, but this was just a remake of that. I'm sure some of you guys will know who he is. I'm pretty sure he's Polish. This one was so fun to sit down and refine, and his little hands and all the details in there. It was just a really, really fun task. And I don't know if you've noticed, but there are so many puppets throughout this book. And mushrooms as well. Cut my life into pieces. This is my last sketchbook. I'm joking, I've got more sketchbooks. I was drawing a lot of portraits at this time because, you know, you can never have enough faces. And trying different angles as well. A bit of a top chin one and a side chin. I think she has gag in the mouth. I don't know what inspired that. I'm not gonna lie. I don't understand. And there's math here, which is horrifying. Why do that be there? I don't understand. Oh, the secrets of the universe is in number 9. That's right. Bit of Nikola Tesla happening in there. This is when the house obsession started happening. And before you ask me what a house obsession is, let me show you. Just these realms of architecture and houses becoming a bit more of an energy of something that feels special. And you'll see what I mean. I actually made house people into characters. House people. Later on. Got a bit of a portal moment. During my twilight haze, I saw a portal. Did you really, Demi? This one is a watercolor paper stick in, which the watercolors work so much better. On watercolor paper, this sketchbook isn't necessarily for paints. So a lot of these cutouts now are watercolor paper and watercolor on top. These pages were heaps of fun, and I love to do these sort of framing work things. Super simple. I think this was 2 pages. Yeah, and I taped them together there. And some decomposing animals with a lot of eyes, because you can never have enough eyes. Really enjoyed making her. As you can see, this is whereabout I got back into my art flow. I had left uni here and I was just working part-time at the deli and creating a lot of art at the time. So you can really see the difference between pages like this and then going back to pages like this that were a bit more bare. I just wanted to fill every single corner in them and make him as interesting as possible by creating these portals. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. This is on Strathmore colouring pencil paper and it works so well. This was for a YouTube idea that I did back on another account that I had. It was the first time sort of playing with the idea of using neon colours as the light. So this is me planning that out, and I think the final drawing is also in here too. I think it'll be somewhere. I'm sure it'll pop up. Here's some more of that colouring paper. Some more of the pencil paper. Oh, here it is. So this is the drawing that I ended up doing for that sketchbook video with the neon green highlight. And this one was a drawing of the dreams that I was having at the time, just very surreal and alien-y, and there's some eyes in there. There's always eyes. Can't run away from them. Can't escape them. Twirls as well. Many twirls and swervy things that just, it's like they're feelings for me. It's just these feelings escaping from our body, and they're visual as well. So I do use them so much throughout the book. And yeah, I was having a bad day at the deli here. I don't know if you can tell. I don't know if you're an empath, but yeah. At this point, I was on TikTok and I was drawing people who were commenting on my videos. So these are actually profile pictures of people on TikTok. And that was a lot of fun. Here's another one, and here's a portal again that connects to a head. Watch this. This is a magic trick. Boom. It's another head. And here's the house people that I was talking about. I just love the way that the house works as a head. It just creates this whole thing for me. I don't know how to explain it. It's just like this feeling that I really, really love. And I love the way it looks too. So it's giving me feelings and aesthetics. Oh, we got a Christmas special here. A horror of a Christmas character with a Christmas hat. And it's a flippy thing. So interactive. More of those swirls as well. You can't escape the swirls, everybody. See, it's just, I want to do more things like this again now. This is still in 2021. I can see it's December. So we are nearly in 2022, and that's what I meant at the start, is I carried this with me for, I think, 2 years. Here he is again, and really trying to refine the swirly ideas too. I do start to try and make an entire composition. I believe I did this on Christmas Day with watercolors. It's just lots of insight into my mind, and it seems I went back to being existential here. I accept my lack of understanding of this world. The truth of it is that we know nothing. Our creation is a mystery. We are all walking miracles. How is life possible? Who is responsible? I'm sitting in the middle of a field in Fairy Meadow, floating on a planet called Earth, in the ever-changing parameters of this universe. One of many, mind you. Demi's the person I wear, but is she me? Oftentimes those lines are blurred. I question whether we might in fact be different entities. I'm not much of a writer, but I remember feeling that at the time, and it had to go down somewhere, and I believe I only had my sketchbook available. Probably one of the most peaceful looking things in this book was done because I was drawing with my mum, and we wanted to draw the same thing, and I was like, oh, we should draw these birds because there's these teacups and it's really cute and it's something that we can both do. But yeah, then I just went back to this. This is more me. I had started live streaming on Twitch here too, so I believe these were done on live streams, which was a lot of fun. I have to say that this is a favorite spread in the sketchbook, and that might be why I had it at the start. I like the idea of having to choose your mask for the day without wearing one. Do we not speak today? Do we not see today? Do we not hear today? And these eye head creatures, I'm all for them. I really like them. I remember having a dream with a spider that had an eye on its bum. I really do like spiders, and my favorite song at this time was actually Spiders by System of a Down, and it's still a favorite song. I do like them a little bit, like the spiders. I don't know if you can tell. I don't know if there's any indicators. It does sort of get a bit darker and darker through the end of this sketchbook too, where I just found a style that felt right in my heart, and it felt like it explored everything that I needed to get out as well. I love these really lanky sort of characters. And I've always loved the idea of the Fool. Got a lamp man over here. I love combining inanimate objects with characters. And a teacup man. Because you can't have a lamp without a teacup these days. Thank you very much. This was around, let's find another date. I think this was nearly around Christmas again, so it must be 2022. Do I take this into 2023? Yes, I do. I do take it into 2023. Damn. Okay. So more than 2 years. It was longer than I even expected. I haven't been through this sketchbook in a while, so I didn't even know what we were getting into. I don't really understand this one, but sometimes you don't have to understand art. The most important thing is that it makes you feel. Still doing the swirlies, and look, another magic trick. See? Hair, ears and body, and then boom, different character. And they do be angsty because they just don't care. I really like that position. This might be the first section of charcoal in the sketchbook, which I was doing a lot of charcoal at this time. So there was a mix of charcoal and then coming back to the sketchbook and charcoal. This is one of my favorites in this sketchbook too. And so is this one, sort of depending on other people to get to where you want to be. I feel like that's something very prevalent in today's society too. And a lot of moon characters as well through the last few pages. I love these little minion people too. And characters like this, you know. And still so many swirlies. It's still something I do to this day in my new sketchbooks too. I did get better at using colored pencils. I have to say, compared to the start, they're a little bit more sketched and less blended. And I did find a way to blend them a bit better, which I really enjoyed. Oh, that's like a jump scare, but it's the end of the book. So there it is, everybody. That was Sketchbook Tour number 3. It was such a fun ride, and it did finish in 2023. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I sure enjoyed going through it. I really do like to call these things my time capsules, and it's nice to share this more creative side that's less restrained with you guys, as well as my usual charcoal work that's a bit more strategic and planned. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I can't wait to share the next sketchbook with you. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see everybody next time. Bye.